What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S, part of Den Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com is go-to website for all things MFTK related. And yeah, so a lot of things going on coming up. Trying to continue to push and pursue book bag drive on the way. Legends Camp coming up. Got some people wanting to sign up for that, get more information. But before we get into the announcements and everything else that's going on, let's start our show the same way we start each and every show off with a word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right. Good morning, Jaden. What are we talking about today?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another morning edition of Big Games BS here on Friday, June 5th. This is your first time at the show. Welcome. And if you're wondering why it's called Big Games BS, it's because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens, eyes, and ears. First things first, we have a couple of topics to touch on that are similar, a continuation of some things we wanted to get across to you guys in our MFTK segment. Then we're going to move on to the NCAA segment. We're going to talk about some college football, even though we're in the off season and official visits are starting to ramp up throughout colleges throughout the nation. So we're going to talk about some schools receiving some official visits. We're going to talk about some donations and former coaches as well before we get into some lists, Twitter. Then we're going to transition from the college to the big leagues, talking about the NFL, starting with the home team, the Jaguars. Then we're going to talk about the Myles Garrett, Jared Verse situation a little bit with some additional information we have here. Talk about some extensions, talk about some wide receivers, and we're going to end off the NFL section with a little fun game before we get into the Big Games BS section, where we bring the scope of the convo outside of the typical football world. We have our BS or Bussin' food review segment. We have a wild one for you guys. And we're going to end today's stream off with another one of a hilarious video by a very, very popular comedian. But first things first, let's get into some Southeast High School football classic talk right here. That's going to be occurring on July 11th, 2026. James, do we have any more info about the Southeast High School football classic?
Next week we'll start putting out the teams that have RSVP'd and just really start trying to promote it more, still trying to get more kids to it. Should be a good thing to get going. Can't wait for it. If you know any high school teams that are looking to try to be able to make the bag, it's here for them. So should be, again, locations as well as team announcement should be happening next week.
And then you also have the second annual Tallahassee Legends Youth Football Camp that's going to be happening later on this month, on Saturday, June 20th. And James, how much does this camp cost?
Free $99. For free, you get a couple hours of instruction, you get food, you get fed. Some really good talent that's been coming out of these camps, having a good time. So come check it out. You can go to my Facebook page. You go to Tallahassee Legends. I think it says the website up there. You can blow it up. You can go to that, sign up, or you can just scan the QR code and check that out. And we get going from there.
The link is in the bio right there with the blue font. But if you're not able to go on Twitter and access the link, it is tallylegendscamp.com. So all one word, tallylegendscamp.com. It should take you to that website. Gonna make sure to pull up that website for you guys so you won't be confused. This is the website right here. This is the link. You see the flyer right there and all the information you need. So make sure to get that link, guys, and make sure to slide to that camp if you're in the Tallahassee area. It is free. And speaking of Tallahassee, James, perfect segue into some FSU football talk. Now, today, from my knowledge, official visits start today throughout the weekend. So if you guys are active on FSU socials, you'll be seeing a lot of players get posted walking out of their black trucks, meeting Coach Norvell. And we got some news, James, courtesy of TJ Pittenger, because we have some FSU spreads for the 2026 season to kick off this FSU topic right quick. And SMU is favored by 2.5. Bama minus 15.5. Miami minus 16.5. Clemson minus 1.5. And Florida minus 4.5 against the Seminoles. James, which of these spreads to you catches your eye the most? Because that Bama 15.5 is quite a large spread. So what do you
I
think?
thought SMU. I thought we were. Oh, so that SMU spread has gone up. Oh, let me see. I'm not high, but I'm not as low on them as everybody else is, man.
This is
Like,
courtesy of DraftKings. I just want to add that as well.
yeah. You know, we don't use those guys here. But hold on, let me look at my handy dandy Hard Rock app, which they don't give us any no promotion here from Hard Rock, but I'm it's just more convenient. Can you use DraftKings anywhere, or is DraftKings one of the ones you have to be in the state?
It's a sports book, so you have to be in a specific state.
Okay. I'm still taking the Florida State. The Florida State over under is 6.5, so I'm taking that. That's plus 135. So, I'm trying to find I wish they had the games more organized. Or you actually with them, you can't go too far in the future, if I remember correctly. You got to take it. SMU game is up there. They put Florida State's getting 2 points, but they make it like it's the same. Like it's still a toss up. I'm gonna go with Florida State to win outright and go plus 110. Oh, I wish it's just a way I just want Florida State games. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to have to search. But I'm taking all of those. The one I'm not touching, I'm gonna tell you the one I'm not touching. Clemson. Not touching Clemson. Because I just simply don't know. But Miami, outside of 1 year, it's never been that big of a blowout. He is going to try to prove a point, but like he tried that. He had the opportunity to prove a point last year and wasn't able to do it. So, it's not saying I don't think Miami will win, but minus 16.5 is a lot of points. Yeah, that's 3 scores. Actually, Alabama is 3 scores as well, and I believe that team is soft. That's not Saban's Alabama. So even though they made the college football playoff, that's still the Alabama that got their asses handed to them by a lot of those same players who are still there. But yeah. Is that Buster Davis?
Yes, James Buster Davis, because I got some news that he's been named a new head football coach at Columbus North High School in Indiana. I did see that you guys did play during the same year, so I wanted to put this on the screen. I did come across Rivals High School, so wanted to put that out there as well. Oh no, I think it looks like I messed up, James, from your reaction.
No, it's just a
Okay.
funny thing. I'm about to go. Sometimes things change, right?
Got you.
I James Coleman don't have a problem with Buster Davis. I absolutely love Buster Davis. I think Buster Davis is hilarious. I think major congratulations to my guy, my teammate. Trying to. So how I found out about this is Buster was on the Big Three roll up a few years ago. And I was like, and my boys and little bro CJ Wilson was like, hey, tell me some stuff about Buster. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go check this out. I'm big fan of Buster Davis. I was blocked by Buster. And I don't remember ever doing anything to Buster. You ever been like blocked by somebody and you don't know exactly what you did to them to be blocked by them? I mean, I blocked Buster a lot in practice, but that was no reason for him to block me. But Buster is okay. I like this. So Wikipedia sometimes like they used to say Buster Davis was 6 foot, right? No, Buster Davis wasn't 6 foot. Buster Davis was shorter than me. Buster Davis, but they got Buster at 5'9", 251. That makes sense. Buster was paratoed, knock-kneed, slew-footed, bow-legged, all at the same time. I have no idea how that shit happens. Buster Davis so he retired officially from the NFL, from playing football in 2012. He didn't play for the Jacksonville Sharks as long as they said, because like Buster has one of them walks that you remember. And like even then, like Jada, when you didn't post the full picture, right? Like you didn't have it blown up when you posted it. I immediately knew who that was when you posted it, right? If anybody know, I said that look like Buster. Just one of them things that just you recognize who that person was. And I hadn't seen Buster since 2006 when he came to the Jacksonville Sharks. That's when I was strength and conditioning coach there. Buster like, Jay Coleman, let me tell you something, Jay Coleman. Because that's how Buster Davis talk. You know what I'm saying? Buster Davis talk just like this. Also, Buster Davis, funny story, when I first met Buster. The second time I met Buster. First time I met Buster was at Bobby Bowden football camp. But the second time I met him was when we did freshman intake. So we had what they used to do at Florida State. You had freshman two-a-days. And the freshmen practiced an entire week before the upperclassmen came in so that you could get acclimated to the process. They got rid of it, and they allowed camp to be longer, but it used to be, that was what you used to have to do. We had to go get physicals. When I tell you Buster Davis talked from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. that day when we was doing all our medical, I have never heard somebody talk and not stop talking. Buster was just like, boy, let me tell you right here, Jack Holmes. But it's a couple girl, her so fine. Boy, I'm gonna put them girls on scholarship. You hear me? You hear me? I'm gonna put them girls on scholarship. I was like, Buster, Don't nobody want your like ugly. He was dark. He was brown. Like he. But when I tell you that motherfucker was fast, that motherfucker was fast. Could hit. Like he was just like a little bowling ball. Now somebody asked in the chat, was Buster a hitter? Yes. Same thing as Ernie. John Vilma was a hitter. I had no problem blocking. I had no problem blocking hitters. A couple times I baptized Buster. That's what we call it when you take him to the water and you get up on one of the. Oh man, I meant to tell y'all this short story, real quick. Baby boy, they put on pads yesterday. When I tell you, my puppy be biting. Kaya didn't have his pads wasn't put on the right way. His helmet wasn't fitting. But when they said go hit the kid, he struck him. He put hands on him. But I got to teach Kai. He put his paws and pushed out and then just drove his feet. He doesn't know how to hit and then hit and drive. Okay, hit and drive. Right now, there was a little boy that learned that I saw do that, and then he repositioned his hands. But I said, Miles, I said, hey man, how you know how to do that? Who taught you at such a young age? Because it's essentially when you see in the movies when you get somebody and you jack them up, you smoke crack, don't you? That's what you got. That's what I did to Buster in practice a couple times. I hit him, boom, hit. And then what you do is when you get him here and you hear the you drive the shoulder pads into the throat, right? And then you just keep walking them back. And there's two things that's gonna happen. If you try to fight forward, you're going to lose air. Because one thing about me is they don't look long, but my arms are long. They just got muscles. But when I hit you and I put you up, Buster was no longer 5'9". Buster was 6'3" at that point. But his toes wasn't hitting the ground. They was dangling. And then what happened was I kept going backwards. And when you keep going backwards, eventually the weight of the helmet and your chin goes up to the ceiling. And when your chin does that, the only way to describe it is if, some of you people who have, if you grew up in the South, they used to baptize people day of. Like Bethel Missionary Baptist Church baptized people. Like if you came up and said, because I sacrificed myself as a 5-year-old. Trying to get church over with. Oh my God. Rev Holmes had been preaching for 4 hours at this point, man. And he like, there's another one here. God is telling me that there's another one here. And I was looking and wasn't nobody getting up. And this man was going to keep saying there's another one here until somebody got up. And I went up, got up, and it was a couple things. He was preaching from Revelations, and it was hot. Things I don't like. I don't like ugly little creatures. I watch any scare. I didn't watch Lord of the Rings because I was afraid of Smeagol. Afraid of Smeagol, terrified of Smeagol. I didn't watch The Hobbit because I don't like little ugly creatures. I like little people, just not little. If you're a little person and you ugly, stay the fuck away from me. But if you're a little person, you're adorable. But I went up there and I was like, okay, I could get baptized. And that cures this heat right now. And then I don't have to be in hell where it's hot all the fucking time. And apparently there's like little ugly creatures that's going to be around there tormenting me. So cool. So I go in there, I go up there, they put me in the white. Reverend Holmes' hands are fucking huge. And I'm 5. That man says, I baptize you in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And that's how quick he does his hands. Okay. And boom, it hits you, and your chin is up, and his face is covering you, and they're like, take me to the water. And then you in there, and you like, and he held me down there for, I think he saw the future sins. Cause you're not supposed to hold him down there, but for a second, I was down there for 15 minimum, 15 seconds, splishing and splashing. And then I heard nothing but the righteous when they pick you up. And yeah, RB still at Bethel Missionary Baptist. RB's got smaller in his older age. RB, I know RB really well, man. But anyways, RB tried to drown me. That's what I did to Buster. So I hit him, boom, hit them shoulder pads up in the air, and then you just see him going down and then his head hit the ground before his feet. And that's just a beautiful feeling in football. Like, and this wasn't just Buster. I'm like, it was just a lot of people got that treatment. It was just good. It's something, it's nothing you can really do when I put these hands on you. Yeah, Luke is black, man. Luke is the white boy that was eating the Kool-Aid pineapples. I wanted to say that, but he wasn't on the chat. So like I felt like I didn't want to talk about Luke why he wasn't there to defend himself. But that's Luke. Luke is the white boy that was like, yeah, bet that up. Like whatever the fuck they was doing. But anyways, so Buster, I was saying all that say about Buster. Buster keep a job. Buster has been a head coach at 25 different schools since he's been done playing. So I don't like I am both, but and not just in like he was the head football coach for Duval Charter in Jacksonville. And he told me some egregious lies. But just coach, I got Anquan Bolden. I got a little Anquan Bolden. I said, shut the fuck up, Buster. Yeah, Anquan Bolden is one of the best people I've ever seen. I know for a fact that motherfucker ain't at Duval Charter in the first year. But then he went to Cardinal Newman. He's been in college. He's been all over the place. Congrats. I hope he stays there for more than 1 year. But knowing Buster, Buster gonna be Buster a wild boy, man. Buster a wild boy. But all right. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one, man. That's good. I love seeing my former teammates, regardless of if I'm blocked on social media. I love seeing them be successful. And if Buster don't believe it, we can line that shit up. We can line that shit up today. Do board drill. I'm waiting to see if somebody want to get some of this action.
I have a question I want to pose to everybody in the chat, but specifically you, James. And this question was posed by Mr. Zach Blowstein from at 247 now, but he had this to say: I would not currently predict a prospect that's in the state of Florida that has 4 stars or 5 stars by their name to commit to FSU by Summers. And James, what do you think of this statement? Is this facts or cap by Mr. Blowstein in terms of his recruiting statement?
Well, there's a couple guys that they're in it for, but I mean, it's not an over the top statement. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a running back that they're going after that I believe is a 4-star. There is, I don't know their board. So, yeah, like it's interesting. They don't. One of the things that I don't get that Florida does, that Florida State doesn't do, is that they're in this situation where people are like, I won't support Mike Norvell. I won't give to the NIL. I won't do this. I won't do this as long as Norvell is coaching. But then they expect to have the recruiting results. And so, like, I don't understand why people are mad that the results are happening in recruiting when we not putting the effort into recruiting. It's like getting mad. It's like, you know, you're not doing right and you're going to get mad on purpose. That doesn't make any sense. Whereas Florida, regardless of if Napier was the coach or not, the boosters were on board. And and I told y'all guys, if you listen to the show, Florida's best recruiter isn't on their football staff. It was their Bull Gators that went out there and developed relationships into the communities with their people. And we have not figured that part out yet. What better way to make kids feel better about things than pairing them with men that are uber successful? You know, that's kind of where I think the disconnect gets in. You think winning does cure all, but Florida hasn't won anything. And they made a switch at coach, and they've been consistently getting good recruiting classes. Miami's been in 2 national championship games in the last quarter century. And they have not won the ACC championship yet, but yet their recruiting has never failed or fallen off. it's a matter of support. So you guys gotta. Hey, I'm not gonna make myself upset with knowing results.
We gotta send a shout out to the Polish place kicker. You mentioned Wild Boys, James, and this is definitely one of those Wild Boys. Definitely had some stories about him, but Mr. Sebastian Janikowski is on the ballot for the 2027 College Football Hall of Fame. Was a consensus All-American, a unanimous All-American. He's the only two-time Graza Award winner and a champion as well, part of that 99 squad. But he is on the ballot, James, and I want to share this with everybody, especially the FSU fans. So just wanted to share this with Janikowski specifically, and good luck. Hope he gets on that College Football Hall of Fame ballot for sure.
Dog, he's the no, he's a big boy. Seabass was a living legend in Tallahassee. So much so that like he got in trouble for drug. Like he was a druggie and partied. And Bobby would say, "Well, we have different rules for international students." Like Bobby really legit said that. Like Seabass could scrap. Seabass could, like he's a good golfer now. He actually lives in the area, if I remember correctly. But good people. He's from Daytona. He's from one of them motherfucking countries, the harsh climate countries. But he played at Daytona mainland, I believe, or Seabury. No, he played at one of them Daytona schools. He played at. But good guy. Poland. There we go. One of them East Block motherfuckers like. Okay, isn't that Marky Mark? What they got? Their family got a city. But shit. It's that's yeah. Shout out to Seabass. Should have been inducted.
Donations. We are going to be talking about some programs that have been receiving some hefty donations. And the first college program we're going to discuss is the University of Tennessee. So Tennessee received $130 million investment from Browns owners Dee and Jimmy Haslam, the largest in its university's history. This takes the crown easily for our Money Moves segment of the day winner. But James, we are not focused on Tennessee. You know, they're in a different conference that doesn't have too much impact on FSU, but James Franklin has done it, man, because Virginia Tech has gotten a $75 million donation. So Virginia Tech, an ACC school, has received a $75 million donation to their athletic department. So, yep, going to read this right here. School record commitment will advance the university's ambitious athletic strategy and expand one of its most innovative academic programs. So, whew, man, James, what does this $75 million donation do for the Virginia Tech athletic program, especially with the strong recruitment strategies of Franklin and company?
I mean, it just makes them more apt to get all of the people in that area. You need a war chest and you have to be able to spend, and that's just what it comes down to. Like what it all boils down to is this: X amount of dollars is going to get spent annually. You get $20 million based upon the new with the thing from Congress. Everybody gets up to like $20 million that they have to spend on athletics. At most, teams are going to spend close to between $50 and $60 million on their rosters. You find out what you're comfortable with spending, and then you create opportunities for your student athletes based off of that. Like, you create your budgets. And I think when people realize that it's when people stop trying to fight this shit and start trying to create generational wealth, they will find themselves being the most successful programs. Like, all right, we got y'all. Well, so let's just say Florida State I know Florida State has $50 million a year to spend on athletes. So I know I got a pool of $50 million. And if I can get 10% of that, I have a pool of about $5 million annually that I can help with these young men reinvest. It's the Golden State Warrior strategy. Do you know why so many guys stayed at Golden State for so many years and they were able to keep their roster together without just having people be supermax? They're in Silicon Valley. And their owner, that's how their owner made his money. He made sure that they were on the cutting edge of a lot of investments and a lot of opportunities to be able to get into different things. And this is why I always tell people, when people say, why do you make, like, the fear is not in the money, in too much money in athletics. That is not the fear. The fear, and it's not the fear of the people with the money. They're using that against normal everyday folks who we don't want to see people. And one thing people don't want to see is people who they felt was beneath them be ahead of them. That's happening in general. It does not matter. What you need to do is try to figure out, how do I make this kid, instead of figuring out what's going to happen when this kid makes $1 million, how do I make it to where when this kid goes to Florida State University, he never has to work truly. He has complete control over his financial and fiscal future when he leaves here, because he's that strong. If you truly cared about the guys and it truly was about that, all right, you don't make the NFL. Well, what if they don't make the NFL? Bitch, when have you ever made $1 million? What it was like, I would take $1 million a day, but how do I make that $1 million $10 million? How do I make that $10 million $100 million? And you know what happens when you teach those young men how to make money? You know where your new pool of resources, you know where your new pool of boosters, you know where your new money comes from? The people and the millionaires that you just created. You create a culture of giving back and paying it forward, as opposed to a culture of crabs in the barrel, where I got mine, I don't want you to get yours. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. But what would need to happen is people would have to become selfless as opposed to selfish, and haters. If you like, a bunch of Dame Dashes in this world.
Speaking of haters, James, Nick Saban has spoken some more about the Protect College Sports Act, and he did so by issuing a warning to college sports about the current NIL landscape. He said one of many things, but he said, quote, "It's become an arms race. Who spends the most has got the best chance to win. But I think it's a race to the bottom, because if you don't spend to win, you lose your fan base and you don't have any revenue." Now, James, before we get into your thoughts on Nick Saban and his opinions on the NIL landscape, I just want to put this picture in the background while you talk.
That's my guy. That's Derek. So one, I want to put this out there. Derek's mom, they truly signed the lease on that. Okay. So I don't know how they got paid to do it, but that was not given to him. But it is ironic, and I continue to talk about this, that Nick Saban will say, nobody ever says it's an arms race, it's a spins race for paying coaches. Like, we'll find 20 to 30, $40 million to pay our coaching staff. Current coaching staff and guys to leave. But we can't find the money to pay the guys that make people want to come play for these guys. We can find the money to pay for your house, Nick Saban, and then buy you a new one. Matter of fact, USC, people forget that USC did that same exact thing for their current coach. They bought his home in Oklahoma and then bought him a home in LA. Like, I'm so tired of the same people that will vote. I want less government will beg the government to come in. We need you to keep control over the youth. We need you now. We want less government where I'm making my money, but I need bigger government to keep the people in check. And then you hire people who ain't never lifted a bag of fucking groceries, like Rafael Cruz. You go and employ guys that are so hateful of who they actually are that they turn their back on their heritage, except for to try to prove that they're not racist. Like, I don't like, imagine if my name was Jerome Coleman, right? And I was so mad and I was lighter. I was like my nephew's complexion, right? Which would be hilarious if his ass was named Jerome. I might just start calling him Jerome just because of that. I like the name Jerome. I don't know what to tell you. But imagine I'm lighter with good hair, and I just say, you know what? In order to win an election, I'm going to call myself Anthony Coleman. It's a very race neutral name. Could be anybody. Could be Anthony Coleman. Tony Coleman, if you will. Imagine that. And that's what Rafael Cruz is. We know Rafael ain't white. Not the way he spelled it. You can't even pretend he's Italian. I see Rafael Cruz. I know I'm dealing with somebody who drinks strong coffee. Knows a good rum. Probably can roll a cigar. But Ted Cruz, I don't really know. But I want a guy who hates himself to go make rules for people who think highly of themselves. That's why they're high functioning, high performing individuals. That's why they play, why they're part of the top 2% of the population that plays college athletics. Like Nick Saban he's qualified to talk about football. If I want to know about the cover two, I don't want to hear about it from anybody besides Mickey Andrews and Nick Saban, if I'm being honest with you. But Nicholas Saban is not qualified to talk to me about the war chest and how it's the haves and the have-nots when it comes to spending for football. When he was a part of a program that literally took the state of the bag man and exponentially enhanced it. Nicholas Saban, who when me and my boy OJ found the pattern and the trend, was the first coach to start with doing what's that shit called? Start off with making cuts in college football. What do you mean by that, James? Nick Saban was the first person that would consistently oversign people. Every year he signed 25 people or more. One year he signed, I think his second year he signed 30 people in his class. So you had a roster of 85, right? So imagine if you only signed every 4 years. Let's say every 4 years. Let's say you redshirt. Let's just say your first year you redshirt half, right? So that's 15 people. 15 plus 25 is 40. 40 plus 25 is 65. 65 plus 25 is 90, right? And that's just if you only redshirted 15 people, whatever. Every year, magically, whatever Alabama oversigned, that's the amount of people that got in trouble. So we had 90. 5 people one person got busted for speeding, one person got this. 5 people magically got sent home every year. It never was more. Nevertheless, it was just the amount of people that they needed to get in trouble always found a way to get in trouble. That doesn't seem suspicious. But that's Nicholas Saban for you, though. But meanwhile, we know everybody on in your school got chargers.
Just to finish things up right quick, in the same setting when he was talking about the warnings of NIL, he also said that during his first years, NIL was around 2.7 million, jumped to 7, jumped to 10. After he retired, he said it jumped to 17 million, then 24 million. Then he proceeded to say, if this keeps happening, revenue will go down and schools will lose scholarships as well. So this is Nick Saban's words, not mine. He did say that, and it just continues to prove that the evidence he's trying to use doesn't really make that much sense when it comes to defending his antics at this
So the
point.
more money you make,
I'll play the video, James. I'll play the video.
Yeah, let's play it because I mean a lot of this stuff just I want it to make sense, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Let me give you the history. My first year we had collective at Alabama, 2.7 million. Next year, 7 million. Next year, 10 million. I retired. Next year, 17 million. Next year, 24 million. Now you have schools that have close to $40 million rosters. So if we continue to do that, we're going to lose Olympic sports. We're going to lose non-revenue sports. We're going to lose scholarships. And basically what's going to happen is you're going to have football and basketball succeed, and we'll have club sports for everything else. Let me get.
So we're going to have what we currently have. Like, here's how disingenuous this is. All right, let's just put it frankly. And this is coming from a guy who I feel like I'm qualified to speak on this. For those who don't know, well, I keep saying that, but I have siblings. For those who don't know, I have a sibling I grew up with and two that I found out about when I was good and grown. Still love them to death. My sister was a track and field athlete at Florida State. So I was in a sport that was full scholarship, right? So I participated in the football and the basketball side of it. Now, the full scholarship sports in college are football, basketball, and volleyball across the board. Full scholarship meaning you don't have to pay a dime of anything. Everything else they give X amount of full scholarships that is up to the discretion of the coaches to divvy up and break down. One of those sports, I'm going to use this one, being lacrosse. Lacrosse and track and field are the most egregious. Here's what I mean. Lacrosse gets 5 scholarships to field a 40-man roster. I believe it was 5. So what does that tell you? Even if I gave a quarter scholarship, right? So that's taking 5 scholarships and making it into 20 partial scholarships. I still have 20 walk-ons. What is a walk-on essentially? A club sport participant. They don't necessarily pay the sport to play, but they pay full price to go to the school and get treated the exact same way as everybody else. My sister had to choose up until her last year when they kind of made the rule. They changed the rules. Do you want to be on full scholarship? Not full scholarship. I apologize, my bad. Do you want your scholarship or do you want your academic money? Because while she was not smarter than me, she did what she was supposed to do academically to be able to prove on paper that she was smarter than me, which makes her more efficient and wiser at the time. And mama had learned a lesson from her hard-headed ass son. What she did was she chose bright futures because Jeb Bush said her future was bright. Jeb Bush told me my future wasn't that bright. So I had to go with what I went with. But you had, I think she had like a 10% partial scholarship to be able to do what she needed to do. And she had to turn it down, but she was still on the track team. So what does that mean? She was a club sport participant. Swimming and diving, similar. So forgive me, Coach Saban, for not giving a fuck about your opinion when it comes to the clubs, to the Olympic sports, because guess what? They are club sports. And guess what those people have been doing for their entire life? They have been participating on a club type level for those sports. And the schools that truly cherish those things, or actually the schools that really are smart, will go recruit Olympic athletes to be able to participate in that, because when an Olympic athlete makes the Olympics, that would make them an Olympic athlete. They get this thing called a stipend from their government. How do I know? The father of my goddaughters is a guy named Gordon McKenzie. He ran track professionally for Guyana. When he was in his attempt, and I'm still mad at him to this day, because I wanted to go to fucking Brazil for the Olympics. He had an opportunity to participate in the London Games. He messed his quad up really, really bad. But if he qualified for the London Games, like literally should have been in London running. All he had to do was line up and get in his stance and get across the finish line. $36,000 a year for 4 years. Do you know what? Then he also got got paid by Adidas. Now he was done with college, but you can still get that money now because of NIL. There are ways to do it if you just stop bitching and start being creative about it. Being this thing called being a capitalist will help you help propel you. NILs are nonprofits. Like, the craziest part about all of this is most of this is donated money anyway. And on the other flip side of it is, you know what athletic programs shouldn't cost as much money as they cost. Jaden, you got, I know you got academic money, but your parents pay for you to go to school for the most part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. When they wrote the check, did they write the check to Jaden, or did they write the check to Florida State? Or card or whatever. They paid Florida State, right? So who does Florida State write the check to when they pay for a Florida State athlete? There are 500 student athletes at Florida State. 500. They do not have one class. Actually, my bad. That's a lie. There is one class that every student athlete would take for at least 2 semesters. You know what that is? If you're a football player, guess what class you're going to take at Florida State to be able to get, I believe is it 3? I think, no, it's 1 credit. You get 1 credit. And you're able to do this twice. You know what class that is? Called football. You know who taught my football class? Robert Bowden taught my football class. Do you know when I took that class? From when I took my ass to practice. That was my class from Florida State. Outside of that, there was no Baby Bio had 900. Did you take Baby Bio, Jaden? Did you take any classes in Ruby Diamond?
No, I never took classes in Ruby Diamond.
What about the Moore Auditorium?
No, I never had classes in there either.
Damn, boy, you blessed. Moore Auditorium seats 300 people. Ruby Diamond seats 900. I forgot how much a per credit is. Like, they didn't start no fucking class for athletes. That's a bunch of regular students. So that class has already been paid for. There's an average of maybe 1 to 2 student athletes in a class, and everybody else paid for that. So like when Florida State, so miss me with that's a missed cost that you could have pushed on to somebody else, but it did cost you no more money for the tuition to be able to get there. Burt Reynolds Hall, good and paid for by the time I got there. Y'all made the rules that athletes could not stay in there. But this is here's the craziest rule what people don't realize about how they were able to get around student housing. 49, you can only have a dorm or an apartment complex can only be 49% student athletes. 51% can be other students. Burt Reynolds Hall was 51% normal people, 49% football and basketball players. You know, you don't even want to know how much Burt Reynolds Hall, that raggedy ass shit, costs to stay in. So sorry, when I know 51, I know if they practice good business, that the 51% paid for the 49%. That's the reality of the numbers. In my scholarship is all the costs associated with my participation in the sport. My shoulder pads, my helmets, my charter flight, my food, all of those different things. My our housing when we like, you know, the, what do you call the shit, the hotel fees, all of those different things were incorporated into my things. We were a Nike school, 100% Nike pay, so all of that shit was paid for. Florida State didn't pay a penny of that shit. Nike donated that. The charter flight, that's why you have a Delta deal. Like the stuff that they say, well, this is what your scholarship covers. It's covered. It's already covered. They're not dumb. Hell, and they were, you know how technically I should have been popped, but I sold my books back. It's so much so that the books you get, you're not supposed to be able to sell back if you're on full scholarship. That's an impermissible benefit. So technically, you're just supposed to give them back. So you borrowing the books, even with the books. Do you want to know the biggest hustle in college outside of housing is books? You take a class written by a professor that writes the goddamn book. And every year they update the book so that the professor gets his royalties. So that you can't just use the old version of the book. Most schools. You know the difference between edition 1 and edition 2? Chapter 13 is now chapter 18. Like one of the coolest things about knowing how smart, it's not necessarily how smart, it's how efficient people become in college, because you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. So you'll find people trying to find the little nuances. And so I remember people telling me, like, man, just buy edition 3. Don't worry about edition 10. It's the same shit. And they'll tell you, like, the difference is this chapter's in. So you just got to know, like, they used to have like a outline that showed the same part about this stuff. So again, my bad. I'm here to educate and take away the veil of the dumb shit that they're trying to put you in to separate the guys, man.
Let's take a look at this post, and let's look at our coach, Mike Norvell, because Brooke Austin has the top 10 hot seats in college football, and Mike Norvell jokingly is not on this list because he or they put already fired next to his name. But James, besides that, I want to get your opinion on the top 10 hot seats in college football, specifically this list right here by Austin. So Shane Beamer, South Carolina coach, at number 1. Then you got Luke Fickell, Dave Arnada, Bill O'Brien, Mike Loxley, Lincoln Riley, Matt Rule, Bill Belichick, Coach Prime, and Sark rounding out your top 10. But Mike Norvell is in there at 11. But do you agree with this top 10 hot seats list? And which names would you add? Would you take off the list or modify?
Two of those names probably should be in the NFL. They shouldn't be back in college. And that's Bill and both Bills. I think Lincoln Riley's going to win enough this year to not be Shane Beamer is a wild one because he was a game away from being in the college football playoff. But he's recruited again. Another further proof that recruiters recruit. South Carolina is, they have a stranglehold on some of the guys there. And also they've been on par with Clemson's recently. Sark is a guy who's been in the college football playoff twice, I believe, but just the expectations for Texas are egregious. But for the most part, yeah, that mic already fired part. I think that's hilarious. I don't think that's true, but I think it's hilarious.
And James, to close out this college segment, we got to talk about a list that left off a very specific Florida State player that brung the pain. We are talking about the hardest hitters in college football history list. And let's take a look at this. Reuben Foster.
That's a dumbass list. My bad. Go ahead.
Reuben Foster, Sean Taylor, Eric Berry, Taylor Mays, Ronnie Lott, Dick Butkus, Greg Blue, Ndamukong Suh, Jack Tatum, and Laren Landry. James, I know one person you're about to say isn't on this list. That is a FSU legend. And let's see your critiques of this list right here.
Dick Butkus, I'm going to give you because everybody told me. Yeah. And Jack Tatum. I wasn't even a gleam in my father's eye when those guys played. I don't even know if my father was alive when Dick Butkus played. So I mean, I know when he played in the league, but I'm gonna give you those guys. And Ndamukong Suh wasn't as ferocious of a hitter as he was a D lineman, and he was just a nasty motherfucker. Like I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like he was. Now, if you wanted to put terrifying, Ndamukong Suh is too low on the list. Like I remember watching him at Nebraska. Like that motherfucker needed a positive male role model in his life. Like the dude it's insane. Like how good he was. Sean Taylor, maybe shouldn't be that high, but I'm gonna tell you who he's better than. Reuben fucking Foster.
I was gonna ask about him. I didn't recognize him.
So like even like this. So Reuben Foster is a good linebacker from Alabama. I ain't even gonna hold you on that.
Who did he play for in the NFL?
I think was it the Ravens? He ended up getting in trouble in the NFL if I remember correctly. Sean T, Eric Berry, Taylor Mays, Ronnie Lott, Jack Tatum, LaRon Landry, Greg Blue. All right. So seven of the guys in the top 10 are safeties. That alone invalidates the list. Of those seven, I'll say Taylor Mays, LaRon Landry, and I don't remember Greg Blue. But those two were in the era that wasn't the same as everybody else's era. Sean Taylor deserves to be there. I think Eric Berry. I don't remember Eric Berry's hits as much as I remember him being a good safety. LaRon Landry was a damn good safety. Ronnie Lott is a motherfucker. I don't remember him in college, but I remember him in the pros. And I'm sure not much changed. So I'm going to keep him on that list. Those are the only two safeties I want to see on that list. You don't have John Vilma. John Vilma had two of the most devastating hits I've ever seen in my life as a freshman in the same game, back-to-back plays in a national championship game when Miami played Nebraska. He decapitated a Heisman Trophy winner, and he killed a tight end. Back-to-back plays. I remember watching that when I was a senior in high school and thinking, I might have to play against this guy. You don't have Shade Tree. Marvin Jones is considered one of the hardest hitters ever. Like some of these guys aren't even the like Sean Taylor arguably might not be the hardest hitter in Miami history. He wasn't the hardest hitter on his team, and that motherfucker was killing cats. I played against him. You've got
Jadeveon Clowney.
He had one of the hardest hits in
hit.
college football, but I think that overrated him.
Gotcha.
University of Maryland, Daryl Henderson, or is it Derek Henderson? A funny story. I'll look it up because it's two of them. Henderson was a brother. E.J. Henderson, University of Maryland. Only story where I always tell the wins, right? I didn't take the L, but I did punk out. And here's what I mean by that. My first game that I traveled, first game I traveled was playing Maryland, right? EJ was BJ Dean was the fullback. He was a redshirt freshman. I was a true freshman. And all I hear is like EJ comes downhill. You hear in the crowd. It like sounded like, you see like not even like an implosion. It sounded like. And BJ comes off the sideline. He's like, okay. They call in another personnel or whatever. He comes off the sideline. Coleman, you got to go in next, or you got to give Dean your helmet. His helmet's broke. And I looked at BJ's helmet. One, in today's game, BJ would not have been allowed to go back in. BJ had a fucking crater in his helmet. This part right here was dented in. You know what James Coleman, 18-year-old James Coleman did? I threw my helmet at BJ. I said no. Like, you want some of this too, old man? No. I said, hell no. I had never seen live game experience, man. What the fuck is going on? I ain't going into that in these circumstances. Hell no, man. Shit. I said, I've never seen a helmet dented in before. You know how much force that is? Would that have been your first game? That would have been my first play. Right afterwards. Fuck that. Fuck you. I was like, I'm walking home. Fuck all y'all. Oh, man, here, dog. You got it, bro. Here's the helmet. I took my mouthpiece out. I used to wear the pacifier mouthpiece, so I didn't even have a clip on it. Hey, man, you handle your business, brother. Because we were at home, it wouldn't have been a problem because they gave us 3 helmets. You had your practice helmet and you had 2 game helmets. But when we were on the road, you only have your 1 game helmet. I said, nah, dog. Ain't finna have me out. This motherfucker not knowing my name. Shit. I was like, shit. God damn. Oh man, but that hitters list, man. This is list Twitter, man. Like it's what happens in the off season. But that you can tell that person has never that's probably Chat GPT. He was not. Ray Lewis was much better in the pros than he was in college.
Eddie George was. I always
remember that. Now Eddie George was a motherfucker, and Eddie George won a Heisman. So like,
and Ray Lewis took his soul like all the time.
Yep, just different. Like Ray Lewis, NFL Ray, murder Ray is different than college Ray. Yeah. But he did have the one case. Like people got murdered all the time around Ray Lewis.
Now we're going to go from college to the big leagues. James, we got a quick update from the Jaguars. We have some roster moves right here that we want to share with everybody, especially the Jags fans. But they have made these moves right here, signed a couple people, offensive lineman Tristan Colin, signed cornerback Dane Jackson, placed cornerback Keith Taylor on IR, and waived offensive lineman Mr. Sal Warmly. Just wanted to update my Jags fans out there. And James, we did touch up on the Myles Garrett trade on the last show, and we got some information, James, about Jared Verse. Jared Verse, NIL, null in the league, did wear number 8 for the Rams, and if you remember, that's Dylan Gabriel's number for the Browns. So, according to Mary Kay Caba, Browns new edge rusher Jared Verse, who will address the media after OTA, excuse me, wearing the number 8 today, is wearing that jersey, Dylan Gabriel's jersey. Now, players can wear the same jersey during the OTA period, the same jersey number, excuse me. But James, I assume Dylan Gabriel's gonna ask for a little hefty price tag for that jersey, man. But we're gonna keep you guys updated on that. And what do you think Dylan Gabriel is gonna ask from Jared Verse for that number 8, James?
I think he gonna it's just like it's both of our numbers. I'm just gonna keep it with me sometimes. like Friday, it's like it's both of our bike. I'm just gonna keep it in my house. Man, he gonna get that jersey up because Dylan Gabriel, you might not be on the roster, champ. Like it's either 8 or B8. So I mean, if Verse wants that, then he's gonna get it. But Verse a good guy, so he may give him a couple bands for his pain and suffering. But brother, you if you're the starting quarterback, you have more. You know what number he's not taking? 4. So like that's a nut ass freak bull number. So if you want to win, if you want to guarantee your number, guarantee your spot. Like we know Jared Verse is going to be starting defensive end.
Verse already making noise in the Browns OTAs, no surprise there. And let's take a look at his counterpart, who he was traded for, Myles Garrett. Let's get into the contract situation. So, according to Ian Rappaport, the Rams and star edge Myles Garrett did not agree on a new deal. Instead, they did rework his contract that pays him $204 over 5 years. That is $204 million over 5 years. Essentially what he was making. The average per year and term remained the same as his deal was in Cleveland. The alteration allowed the Rams to onboard Myles and his record-setting deal, moving the vesting date of his guarantees back a few months. That's a good caveat right there to notice. That is a big deal in terms for these contracts. The guarantee date, the date you actually receive the guaranteed money, that's a big crucial portion of contracts, and the Rams were able to alter some things so Myles Garrett could have an easier transition from Ohio to Cali. But he's definitely have to get used to those Cali taxes, James, because man, playing in LA or California is no joke. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update on that. And James, the internet has been in an uproar. When people get their bag, they love pulling out the stats to see if it really equates in value. And that definitely did happen with Green Bay wide receiver Christian Watson. So Christian Watson and the Packers reached an agreement today on a 4-year, $110.5 million contract extension that includes a $31 million signing bonus. And we did talk about Drake London recently getting that extension as well. So BetMGM decided to compare the stats and compare the contract, James. So both in the same draft class, and they had similar contract values, but a little bit different. London at 141 million, while Watson has 110.5 million. And just look at the reception difference between the two receivers right there. 133 receptions compared to 309. So what does that mean? That means for each reception, Watson is getting received $831,000, but for London, it would be $456,000 for each of his receptions. But
I think the argument would be that if I was on a sorry ass team that didn't have other players that were good, I would probably have more catches too. So when it comes to Atlanta, I mean, you finally had the tight end, P Dub's son-in-law finally came into his own, I believe last year. You had a decent running. You had not decent run. You had to get a running back. But you were the target in Green Bay. There's he probably be utilized a lot more now because got to get my dog free from putting his paws on the Pilgrim influencer, the running back. But you have more talent and more people to spread the ball around to, and when you're on a sorry team, you get to throw the ball a lot more because you're playing from behind. So, I just give a little caveat, a little context to that.
The Steelers tight end, former Georgia Bulldog Darnell Washington, have also reached an agreement on an extension that is 4 years, $42 million. So the deal includes $21 million guaranteed. However, so it looks like Washington is staying a Steeler. Hopefully, we get to see more crazy stiff arms and more yak yards after the catch for Washington. It is definitely fun watching him play football out there, but it wouldn't be fun trying to get blocked by him for sure. So
No, that's a he's a it's a like they just need to call him a different position. Like not tight. He's not a tight end, but he could do tight end things. Like maybe call him an anchor or something, because like he's really a more athletic offensive tackle. Switch tackle or something like that. They could just flip whatever side you want him to go, so you have an extra offensive lineman.
we got some NFL young boy news, aka George Pickens. So Cowboys our receiver George Pickens has not attended the team's voluntary offseason workout program, but he is expected at Dallas's mandatory minicamp June 16th through 18th. James, I know everything got finalized with the tag situation for Pickens, but what does this mean, or what does this tell the organization if you're not attending the team's voluntary offseason workout program, especially for NFL young boys case and Jerry Jones?
That you just chilling and you doing your thing and you better come in shape. That's all. Like a lot of people make much ado about nothing. The Seahawks left tackle for years. What's my guy? Walter Jones. Walter Jones had a former Florida State alum. You know, he didn't do training camp. Like he didn't do anything until the season came, and he was still considered one of the greatest that have ever played it. And I just think sometimes, people make much ado about nothing when it comes to all of these things. Like if it's the same offensive coordinator, it's the same playbook, you understand what you're doing. So NFL young boy clearly has enough stuff, and he's the one thing that Jerry's probably just happy is that he's staying out of trouble. So that's what we're gonna work out with that.
Moving along, James, we're going from one wide receiver to another, and it's not looking good for Mr. Ayuk, man. Every time he's in the news, it seems like it's always something bad. So let's get into this post right here, talking about the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office issuing a warrant for the arrest of Ayuk on a misdemeanor charge of exhibition of speeding. So I got some more information for you guys, courtesy of ESPN. So the warrant is in reference to a video Ayuk posted to YouTube in December, in which he appears to tape himself from the driver's seat going well over the posted 40 miles per hour speed limit on a road that runs past Levi Stadium, the DA's office confirmed to ESPN on Wednesday. A few days after posting the video, Ayuk apologized for sharing the video of himself driving a Cadillac CT5V Blackwing on Tasman Drive, just outside of the Niners home field. This is what Ayuk wrote in a post to YouTube. Quote, "Sorry, y'all. My car content won't come with speeding anymore. Was praying with my son tonight and wouldn't want anybody else to miss out on an opportunity to do the same with their loved ones. My apologies." Amid the news of the warrant being issued for his arrest, Ayuk posted videos to Instagram on Wednesday of himself driving a car on a racetrack. The estranged wide receiver has not been with the Niners since late last season. When the team acknowledged that it placed Ayuk on the reserve left squad list and voided the nearly $27 million in guaranteed money remaining on his deal last July. The voided guarantees came back because he failed to participate in mandatory rehab sessions for his injured right knee. The Niners have been hoping to trade Ayuk this offseason after general manager John Lynch and coach Kyle Shanahan made it clear in January that he played his final snaps in San Francisco. Ayuk has not played a game since October 2024, where he tore the ACL, MCL, and meniscus in his knee. Now that June 1st has passed, that deadline, the Niners are free to trade or release Ayuk, with the remainder of the dead money owed to him split up over the next 2 years rather than just 2026.
All right. What did he get? Like, what is the real issue? What did he do, like, that got him jammed up? Like, what did Brandon do? Because I don't remember.
I remember it was weird. Like he wasn't showing up to practice. I'm gonna look it up, but it was something like he just didn't show up.
So it wasn't no trouble. It was just him being unprofessional. Yeah. Okay, so I'm with that. I'm sorry. Extremely stupid. Glad he's being a little bit more responsible by going to a racetrack. Why are we issuing warrants for misdemeanors? Like, we ain't got other shit to do. Like, all this does right now is bring attention to the DA and all of that other stuff, and just making people feel bigger than what they really are. I hate those type of things. Like, we got real criminals out here, brother. Like come on, dog. Like, I get my man up in Green Bay. I get the women beaters. I get all of that other shit. But, like, man, for some of it in December, man, it's almost started. They're about to start advertising for Christmas again in a minute.
A warrant. But, like, he's also putting it on the internet.
Whatever, man.
We have some news coming from another NIL Noel in the league. This time, Josh Sweat, Arizona Cardinals edge rusher. We did share that he was potentially on the trading block for the Cardinals, but according to Ian Rappaport, the Cardinals do not plan to move on from Josh Sweat, not trading with the Packers or anytime soon. So that rumor has been put to bed, and we just want to share that with you guys, with the Noel fans specifically in the chat, because we did get wind of Sweat likely being a trade candidate. So
now,
just wanted
Sweat would have probably enjoyed going to Green Bay to win. Arizona's a much better place to live, but Green Bay has imagine him with that was with the Cowboys. That was with that they made the trade, and then the Cowboys ended up beating them, I believe.
Michael Parsons.
That would have made them better.
Yeah, him and Micah Parsons would have been a cool edge rush duo for sure.
Meanwhile, versus like, what did I do in my life, God, to get me from a good spot to a bad spot? And then Sweat is over here like, look at God. And then now he's like, why has thou forsaken me? Keeping me in Arizona.
We have a retirement to announce, and it is official, James. Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, has officially announced his retirement from the NFL after 14 long seasons. So the only Super Bowl winning QBs from 2000 to 2019 that are still active are Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. So Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl champion, 2-time NFC champion, a 10-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2020 Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, and he's 16th all-time in passing yards with 46,966. 6. And it's sad to say that he's definitely going to be known for or remembered for one play in the Super Bowl that didn't result in a Marshawn Lynch touchdown. But James, it looks like he is officially retiring and going to the TV commentator analyst role. So how do you think he will do in this new role in his life?
I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be the perfect amount of corny mixed with the perfect amount of corny mixed with knowledge of football and the background and what do you call it, the resume that you have to respect it. So he's handsome. He's got all the, and he's safe. He's not gonna say the controversial corny shit that RG3 says, but it's gonna be. I'm actually excited for Sierra's husband to see how successful he could be in this next move for his career.
Let's play a game that has been taking the internet by storm, James. I don't know if you heard it before, but it's called 17 and 0. And this is where you build your perfect football lineup, draft a perfect fantasy team. So you build a fantasy team lineup that goes 17 and 0. Once you click this roll button, you roll an NFL team plus season, and you draft one player onto your fantasy roster and repeat that for all 7 starting spots. Does that make sense?
You got to really know football for this, but okay.
Okay, so we're going to see what James' team is and see if he can go 17 and 0. So we're going to roll Carolina, 2009.
Oh, they give you the names. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes, they do. They do.
Can you reroll any?
Oh, de la combe mi wonder de long. Give me Steve Smith. Oh, it's too late now, right? I can put him anywhere. Oh, flex. Oh yeah, Steve Smith flex. Oh, cool. All right, cool. I thought I only got one. It makes you switch the positions.
No, so that's his initial.
My bad. SS flex. Okay, I thought it was. Yeah. Okay, I'm with.
I thought it was strong safety. Too,
yeah, I'm like, damn, the defense already. All right, cool.
Yeah,
all right, we good.
So you get how this game works. They kind of arrange it by points, like kind of like fantasy points, and you kind of go from there. So pretty easy.
If I had known that, Las Vegas 2002. Jeez. Well, shit. I didn't realize this. Then if it's points per game, give me Charlie Gardner. Then I didn't realize that, man. Damn, I thought we were trying to win here. I thought, but now I see we trying to win like that. Okay, I'm with it.
Man, we're getting bad luck today, James. We're getting real bad luck.
Damn. All right, I gotta go Darren McFadden. Then that's the only thing I can do. Okay, it's gotta be one. Derek Mason. No. Oh, I got a oh good. Tony Gonzalez.
All right, we got 2 more positions, a wide receiver and a quarterback. So let's see if James can get a good team and a good season.
Yeah, I got one decent dog. This is bullshit.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. I got nut ass freak bull. Ooh, man, I gotta go D Hop and just pray.
All right, this is the last pick of 17 and 0. Let's see.
Watch I get something crazy.
You get. Oh,
there we go.
Wow.
Look at that patience paying off. No, I didn't have a quarterback.
So you're
13 and 4. That ain't bad.
You get a B+, 13 and 4 record. So yeah, James, that's how it works. They have one for basketball called 82 and 0, but I wanted to.
I made the worst decision. Like I should have. If I'd have known that, I'm thinking just straight up like how I would build my team.
Oh, we can do it again. We
I
can do it
think
again.
Steve. I would. It was somebody. Steve Smith was the third option, if I remember correctly on that. Let's do it one more time. One more time.
Now you kind of know how it works. Let's do it again. So let's start this off.
Oh, I was about to say.
No, he's good. It's just not. Anton Smith. That's gonna give me decent. I don't want to blow a wide receiver.
Running back or flex?
And I put him at running back.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
Damn, I might have to go with Steve Smith at flex. I might
Hey,
be. I might
good
just
pick.
be
Good pick.
screwed. Steve Smith's gonna consistently get you 13, I guess.
Steve Smith is a Triple Crown winner too, so definitely. Ooh, man, this is a tough year right here. Ooh.
Who was on this team? Oh, CJ.
I gotta go CJ Spiller. This is bullshit. This is some bullshit.
Man, your running back rooms hasn't been the greatest.
All right,
It-
all right.
okay.
Oh no. Matt Ryan.
That's right. Julio never scored. Oh, but give me Tony.
Oh, but he didn't score as many touchdowns.
Nah, he just got yards. They never let him get into the end zone. All right, man. Come on, dog. Oh, here.
Ooh,
Oh, shit. Hines Ward. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Now I gotta just find. The best quarterback I get. Oh, whatchamacallit get numbers. Dak.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Last one. Okay.
Oh yeah, we good. Keenan Allen. Oh yeah.
Nice. Same thing. Got the same record.
Well, the problem is I still have. You see who the worst person is again?
Steve Smith.
Yeah, if I don't.
Oh no, Antoine Smith.
Oh yeah. I'm not getting. I haven't gotten like no top running back, man. Like shit. God, dog, man. That's.
It says your weakest spot is running back.
It's the most useless position on the team anyway. But like, you need guys who. The problem with fantasy football is it's fantasy, and then two, you just score a bunch of you got to have running backs that score touchdowns. You got to score touchdowns on offense. Your quarterback yards don't matter anywhere near as much as touchdowns do. Yeah.
So hope you guys did enjoy that game. It was a fun game. And now let's get into our big games BS section. We got some things we wanted to share with you guys that are funny and that is quite good to look at too in terms of our BS or bustin' food review segment. Now we try to pick items that will cause a lot of controversy in the chat. And if you are wondering what BS or bustin' is, this is our food review segment, and it's called BS or bustin' because we want you guys to spam BS in the chat if the food item looks trash, or spam bussin' in the chat if you would try these food items. And we got a weird one for everybody today, James. It is the Sloppy Joe pizza rolls. Now, we're going to share this video with you guys to see if this is BS or busting and to get a sneak peek into the methods for this food madness right here. So I'm going to press play. There is no sound, however, but please enjoy and let's see what this pizza bread sloppy Joe will look like.
Where's it? Oh, I see it now. So it's a stuffed pizza roll.
That looks fire.
Yeah.
I would right now. How do you make it?
I want to know how you make sloppy joes because I'm curious. I know it's ground beef, but like, is it ground beef and barbecue sauce? Like, what do they put in there to make it sweet?
Oh yeah, that's everybody's own.
So that's barbecue sauce. That's what it looks like. All right. So it's ground barbecue beef burgers.
My house we use adobo.
Okay. I mean, that's an empanada. Oh, and there's no. Oh hell yeah! I thought I was trying to get around the tomato sauce thing, but there's no. Oh hell yeah! No, I do. I don't know how it would mash with the with that. So it's like I'm kind of like thrown off a little bit, but I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah, man, give me that all day.
And it's the first time we've seen something like kind of really creative instead of usually they're just mashed.
Yeah, like that's cool. Like, you know, I was curious to but like they just brushed a little garlic, whatever, on, but a little butter on it, and then the pepperonis is just like okay. I mean, but cheese on it. I love cheese. Like we good. That got extra cheese because it's cheese on the inside that they put when they baked it, and they put a little mozzarella on top. Like, hey, chef's kiss. Oh man, what that Friday night? Yeah, man. Shoot. Just do it. Let's do the thing.
We got a funny video, Dreams, and this comes from a familiar person we like to show their videos of, and that is Drewski, man. Drewski just came out with another classic video to add to the arsenal. I don't know how he keeps doing this, man.
I don't know how he keeps getting away with this shit. Like, it's a lot of dudes that he just described that I'm like, yeah, this is all the hood N-words in Jacksonville right now.
Steven Jackson was somebody I've been hearing around. He kind of took pieces from Steven Jackson's Instagram stories and whatnot. But man, let's look at Drewski's video with the caption, "That old head who never grew up / matured." I'm sure we all know somebody like this. So make sure to comment in the chat about Drewski and his skits. This video already has 16.6 million views, and it came out yesterday at 7:40 p.m. So it has gone viral. Let's look at the old head.
I raised all these niggas. I raised all these niggas. I raised these niggas.
These young niggas look up to me, man. 10 generations of the hood, man. Show love to your hood, man. Y'all niggas come back and feed the streets. Be a big homie to your hood, man. You niggas love me out here. I be that Pyro 1560 bloodhound. I'm finna start this streaming shit. Yeah, I'm finna start getting on live mode. Yeah. Bro, you just know how this shit be, bro. Like, I don't ask nobody for shit, dog. Like, I appreciate the unicorn. Y'all send a galaxy. Y'all send a galaxy in the chat.
Same partner right here with little
same shit. That same
Hey, I don't know the
spot.
TikTok.
And I was with their daddy. I was with their daddy around that time.
They don't even know what happened.
Nigga about this tall, man.
Let's talk about them allegations. How your lawyer be the 40?
No. I was facing 40. It was a probation violation.
Jumpsuit is fire, though. I don't
I
know if it's because I'm old
what
now,
I went
but
when I
it's
raised these folks, man. Oh yeah, I raised these niggas.
She want me to touch up on her butt. I'm ready, Lord. She tell my name.
And all the bitches.
My first beating and I drunk a Sunny D. Started lurking with my ski. It was 1 degree. Glock 23 on me. I just wanna be.
I just
Yeah, what I just did. What I just did, man. I done came down here, bought everybody vote. I done came down here, yeah.
Why you look like my teammate Travis Johnson?
I came down here, did.
You look like Trap with the beard and the bald head,
We
man.
come in peace. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. No violence. We come in peace. Brotherhood. Allah Akbar. We come in peace.
Breaking news. 5 armed gunmen in head wraps are on the loose in Atlanta for attempted robbery. They are considered armed and dangerous, one of which has a history of murder. The situation remains unclear. Charleston Porter, age 57, caught committing crimes with underage teenagers, now facing several pending charges.
Yo, like, it's just that's who. Yo, that's who he is. Queso's dad. He definitely doing Queso's dad. I don't even want to call him a rapper because I don't know nothing. The only song I know I think he was in was "Who I Smoke," so like, but that don't count. It was just like, but whoever Drewski's makeup team is, outside of the one part, that was more so the camera angle. Drewski got the best makeup team in the game, dog. Like how he makes himself look like a real white person and all this other jazz, man. Like I hope to never be that dude, whoever Drewski is. I'm not Drewski, no, excuse me. I hope, the person I don't want to be the old nigga in the hood. Still trying to hang on to something that I ain't. Like you got to grow up, but it's a bunch of people, not just like hood activities with football and with a lot of other different things, man. But his skits are hilarious, man. Like that one was more real than hilarious. Like, if that makes sense. I liked it because I'm like, yo, we all know that dude that we don't know why you're still here. Like, you need to go be a grandfather. So
That's all I had for today's show, James. Any last words to say to everybody in the chat as we bring in Friday's show and as we bring in the weekend?
I mean, I hope everybody has a great Friday. I hope everybody I hope everybody has a great Friday. I hope everybody stays out of trouble. And outside of that, man, appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. Thank you for the support. We'll see you guys on Monday. See you next time.